Hello, my name is Michael Salvaggio, and I have something to say. What spawned this video was a realization that happened just a matter of a few minutes ago, probably no more than half an hour or so. But I considered it significant enough to document it, at least for myself. It has to do with the pursuit of perfecting oneself. I hate to use that word perfect. But anyway, that's what I'm saying right now. Some people would call it enlightenment or whatever, but whatever it is that a person tries to attain when they try to become that higher self, the self that they're quite sure they can be, but have yet to become. Anyway, the realization that hit me was that inside of me is an internal struggle. It's between these two elements. The word that triggered me was jihad, which I looked up and I came to realize has to do with an internal struggle inside oneself. That there are forces within you. I wouldn't say forces. Whatever's in you is in you. And I think it's your construct. Mine too, of course. All of ours. Presuming I'm right. Anyway, the realization that there is this aspect of me that is convinced that I can be much better than I really am. And the other side of me that seems to not go with that program. For whatever reason. Usually issues of immediacy, instantaneous gratification, doubt, etc. I thought it might simply be the intellect versus some other aspect, but I don't think so. And because of that, I don't really want to define what these two warring aspects are, for perhaps as a whole committee of me inside myself that are arguing back and forth as to what I should do and what I shouldn't do. But the realization was not that there was an internal struggle, but that all the sides are wrong. This side, that side, the other side, and I'm in the middle. And of course it's me. So, when you're your own prisoner, how do you get the key to release yourself from your prison? And I believe the answer is not take sides. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. So I guess the realization is that I think there's a middle ground. And as time goes on, I might be able to describe it better. But in essence, there's a part of me that feels whatever discomfort or joy or whatever that this confusion inside of myself generates. But ultimately, all I want is to be at peace with myself. That's really all I want. And choosing a side doesn't seem to work. There doesn't seem to be a dominant aspect in me that's saying, oh, well, that's that. I've done a lot of good things. I've also not pleased with some of the choices I've made. And I'm starting to wonder if any of those observations are even valid. I am who I am right now. I got here. I'm okay. I guess. Yeah, I'm okay, I guess. I mean, why not? I was hoping for this video to shed some light on the issue. That if the internal struggle is won by not struggling at all, by allowing yourself to be non-contested. How do you do that? I have a sense of it right now. So there's a first line of the section of the Tao Te Ching, which is the way part, and it says the way that can be talked about. It's not the constant way. Of course, there's different interpretations of what that line is text-wise, but essentially, to me, what it's saying is the very thing that we're about to study, talk about, the essence of your journey, whatever you want to call it. The way, once you start talking about it, you've kind of made it finite, and the way will not adhere to that. The way is going to be whatever the way is. So, went off into the weeds with that one. The thing is that and it, whatever it is that you choose, if it comes from ideas flittering around, then your choices are based strictly on your conclusions. And there is an aspect of the self where one simply goes and is inherently drawn to things. And that's very difficult to describe. Most of us have done it numerous times. Something you did in your heart. Maybe you crashed and burned. Maybe it came out good. Maybe it was somewhere in the middle. The thing is that you did it and you got a result. Hopefully you were not saddened by it. Presumably, of course, the sadness wasn't a positive thing. So, essentially, I would like to say something that would be a formula to be able to follow this process. But there's an old saying, give a man a fish and he eats for a day, teach him how to fish, he eats for the rest of his life. I also believe that the greatest lessons that one experiences in life are the ones one actually processed and paid the price for, so to speak, in skin or whatever. So I don't think this is a rigged game. I don't think there's a formula that's going to solve this problem. I think possibly, if there is a formula, it's the awareness that there's an inner struggle and that you're okay as you are, and it's okay for you to trust in yourself. And for those people that are of a religious nature, I don't see a conflict here. If you are at core, a God mind, if you feel that there is a source of all being and that's at your core, it doesn't change anything. If that's the case, then you can't fail. Especially if you allow your core to manifest itself in your actions. This subject is so ethereal, so nebulous, so non-material. And it may not have any value based upon this communication. But at the heart of it, you are who you are. Nothing's going to change that. If you want to be more who you are, which sounds like an impossibility, but okay, then the only thing I think that you can do is allow yourself to be who you are, which would mean not allowing external or internal issues to dissuade you from your path. As in all things, there is risk. You could choose to pursue this and find it to be hazardous. If that happens, if you follow your inner nature and you pursue that which you know to be you, then the result I'd like to give you a reward. I really would. I'm searching for one. There is no reward. You either be who you want to be, who you are, I'm sorry. You either be who you are, or you're something else. And if you choose something else, I hope that something else, for your sake, satisfies your willingness not to be you. If you want to know something personally about me, to kind of put this together, this is something that I have been, well, not this particular subject, but I've been very self-judgmental. And not always responsive to that judgment in a positive way. I've allowed myself to be, I've allowed myself to go down various paths that I know did not work for me, so to speak. But at the same time, here's an interesting thing I tell people. Nothing in nature is wasted. You are a child of nature, you know? You are a natural human being. And I would like to think that whatever experiences that you had, regardless of how disconcerting they are or how sad or whatever, that they help build your character. In the end, you are who you are. The good news is there's nothing you have to do in order to be who you are, except be who you are. The hard part is when you intermix this with society and with your alter ego telling you what you should do, because essentially our construct selves that are inside of us are aspects that are not fully us, yet spawned from us. Look, that's crazy. That is the conflict that I've been experiencing, is that I have so many disagreements with multiple aspects of myself. I'll say, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this, and then what do? I do something else. And then I feel bad because I didn't listen to this guy. I listened to this guy. And then I listen to this guy, and that doesn't make me feel good. So then I start listening to this guy, and this guy's not happy because that's the nature of conflict. The only way to have a resolution is to end the war. Stop fighting yourself. If you're going to be this way, if you're going to be that way, whatever, just accept it. If you wish something in your life to change, and if you have the power and the authority or whatever, if you have the means to do so, and you wish to expend your energy doing that, then so be it. It's your bat and your ball. If you don't, then honor your choice. Honor all your choices. Understand that they are coming ultimately from self, even if you're being influenced from social or internal issues. It's a choice you made. Like so many choices. The funny thing is, you don't have to change. You don't have to change your behavior. You can choose to behave the same way. Nothing's stopping you. That I know of. I mean, we're talking about this stuff here. We're not talking about, like, there's a famine, or you're in prison, or this other thing. That's something else, man. That's their environment, man. But, there were people in Auschwitz that had meaningful experiences. Yes, that had optimal experiences. If you check out the book Flow, you'll find out about them by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, if I'm saying that right. It's an older book. But anyway, there's one thing that's going to get me in a lot of trouble. I'm going to say it anyway. One of the teachings of Jesus, as I understand it, was judge not lest ye be judged. I believe that's a universal truth. When it comes to individuals and so forth. I believe that means that the universe is not judging you. Nothing's judging you. If there is a God, then God's not judging you. God made you as you is. And if there isn't a God, it doesn't matter. You is what you is. You is what you is. Or for those who like to hear it some other way, you are as your nature. So the thing is that I think this is a meaningful piece of information, and it's not something that is way out there, but something that we often put on the shelf. All these considerations and stuff, all these internal conflicts. Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do that? What do you want to do? I've asked people that sometimes. I've asked people, what do you want on a particular subject? And they didn't know. What do you want? There are teachings out there that say that wanting is attachment, and attachment is when I'm holding this, okay, in some manner, this relationship continues until I let it go. Being attached is about holding on to things and having a life related through your attachments as well as other things, versus a person who's not attached, which I don't know how you can be completely detached, but I think most of the teachings about detachment have to do with the kind of issues that are related to this conflict. I'm wondering if... Oh, that shut it down. Okay. Maybe that's good. Oh. Interesting. Okay.